Good morning, dear children. So, today I am going to start the seventh chapter of First Flight, that is Glimpses of India. This chapter is divided into three parts. First part is a baker from Goa, second is Kurg, and third is tea from Assam. So, we are going to read about bakers of Goa, about Kurg and tea from Assam. But in this particular video, we are going to deal only with the first part of the chapter, that is a baker from Goa. A Baker from Goa is written by Lucio Rodriguez. Let's see about the author. Lucio Rodriguez was born in 1916 and he took his last breath in 1973. He was a great Konkani essayist. He wrote several articles in English and Konkani to various periodicals and magazines. He served as a visiting professor of folklore at many universities and also as a professor of English in Mumbai and Goa. Overview of the chapter. What's the chapter all about? A baker from Goa revolves around the relevance of a baker in the Goan culture, which dates back to the time when Portuguese ruled over the city of Goa. That time, these bakers were very popular when the Portuguese were here in India. They were ruling in India, but the Portuguese have left India, but still these bakers play a very vital role in the Goan culture. The Portuguese may have left, but the bread makers continue to have an inevitable stature. In this story, the author recalls his childhood days and their excitement on seeing the baker. They were enthusiastic to the point that they would run to him as soon as they woke up without even brushing their teeth. So, here's this short summary of this chapter. The story takes us back to the time when Portuguese ruled Goa. So, they were immensely famous for their breads. The narrator often finds his elders thinking about those good old days and telling them the famous breads date back to the time when Portuguese ruled over India. So, this particular chapter takes us to the back times when the Portuguese ruled over India and what role does the baker play in the Goan society or Goan culture. They were so popular that the elders of narrators still talk about them. Now, they ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese have left Goa, but the bakers of bread still exist. So it was popular during the Portuguese time. The bakers were really popular that time. But now they have left India. Still, the bakers they are very popular in Goan culture. If not the original ones, that means the original bakers are not there, but their legacy has been continued by their grandchildren or their children. Their legacy is being continued by their sons. The bakers are still being referred to as bakers. Everything about baking is still the same. So everything what was popular or the way they used to bake the things are like that only. Nothing has changed. Everything is remains still the same, ranging from those who mold the bread loaves to the furnaces which have survived the ravages of time. The sound of their arrival and the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard just like the olden times. So nothing about the bakers have changed much. The way they mold the things, they use the baking furnace to bake the breads. Everything is the same. The way they used to arrive. See, in our colony also we see many hawkers. They come. They have a peculiar way of either saying the things or marking their arrivals. A very simple example is of when the ice cream man comes in the colony, how he marks his arrival by just ringing the bell. As soon as he rings the bell, everybody is out. I don't know whether you people remember the dosa wala. He used to just beat his tawa to just mark his arrival. In the same way, when the bakers used to come, they used to carry a bamboo stick, and with that, they give a small thud and a ringing sound which marks their arrival in the streets of Goa. The sound of their arrival and the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard, and they now also they come in the same way. Nothing has changed about the bakers. The narrator recalls that the bakers acted as their friend and companion during their childhood days in Goa. The baker used to visit twice a day. Once while he was on the round to sell his loaves, and the other time while returning back with his empty baskets having sold all the loaves. So these were the two times when the baker used to visit. So he comes twice a day. Once when he was going to sell the thing, second time when after selling all the loaves. It was the sound of his bamboo stick that woke the children up. So breads are eaten early in the morning, as you know. So it's really early in the morning he used to go to sell the bread. So with the as soon as he make the noise of the bamboo stick he used to carry, the jung jung sound, the children without even brushing their teeth they used to come running to him. The children were so excited to meet him and choose from the bread bangles or cancon he made specially for them. So they love the bread bangles as you can see in the picture. So they really like those things and they run to take those things to buy those things. While the bangles were for children, loaves were for the adults that were generally collected by the maid servant of the household. The baker often made a musical entry with his bamboo stick. So many times I have repeated this. He make a peculiar sound with his bamboo stick, and as soon as the children they used to hear the sound, they come running from the house to get their bangles or the loaves. His one hand supported the basket on his head, while the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would go house to house and greet the ladies before handing them over the loaves. So every day it was his duty. He used to keep the loaves on the in a basket on his head, and with the other hand he used to carry the bamboo with which he used to make the sound, and he used to go to each and every house, and before handing over the loaves he used to greet the lady. The parents would scold the children and make them stand aside. Why they did so? Because the children they used to hover around the baker. But as eager as they would climb a bench or the wall to peep into the basket. But they were really eager to know that about the bread bangles that they used to search for the bench or a raised platform to just to stand there and look into his basket. I don't know about your children, but I am in love with baking items. See, they have a very nice aroma. Even if when you cross the shop, baker's shop, oh my god, you get attracted to it. All those cakes, those pastries, that rolls. My god, let's not get into this much. They did not even bother to brush their teeth before having those bread bangles because it seemed unnecessary effort for them to pluck mango leaves from the branches to use them for brushing the teeth. So they can't even wait to brush their teeth because they according to them it is an unnecessary effort to go and pluck the mango leaves and brush the teeth. They cannot wait for that long, so they want to have those bread bangles at the earliest. That's why they don't want to brush their teeth. They considered brushing unnecessary because the hot tea could effortlessly wash their mouth. So they think that the hot tea could clean their mouth, so what's the point in brushing the teeth? And they thought that animals like the tiger never brushed their teeth, and they think that the animals they don't brush their teeth. So it's no point in doing so. And all these excuses was just to have that bread bangles. Bread is an important part of the Goan culture and it is evident from its presence at every important occasion. So from this it is very clear how what a vital role the breads have in the Goan culture till now. From sweet breads at marriages to sandwiches at engagements. So at every auspicious occasion the bread has to be there, whether it is marriages, whether it is engagement parties, Christmas parties, any parties, the breads were the major part of those parties. At engagement parties and cakes and coconut cookies at Christmas as well as other occasions. So, in any form, the breads were the part of the important occasions. Makes the presence of a baker in every village very essential. Bakers were known to have worn unique knee length frock dresses, typically known as kabai. In the narrator's childhood days, he had seen them wearing shirts and pants whose length was shorter than the usual ones. It was a part of their identity so much that so that even if someone wears the trousers length now, he is said to have dressed like a baker or padder, as was said in olden times. So they had a unique dress which you can see in the picture, and still, if somebody wears like that, so they are called that he or she, sorry, he has been dressed as a baker. The baker's family and workers have always been happy and joyous. Always been happy and joyous proves that they were very well to do. From baking, they earned a good amount of money. That's why they led a very prosperous life. The baker was usually fat, which was proof that he had lot to eat and hence was a proof of richness. So since he was a fat man, so that means it proved that he was a rich man. That's why he was having lot to eat and he has become fat. Even to this day, someone with a well built body is compared to a baker. Now, in the present society also, if somebody is well built, so he is compared with a baker. That means he is very well to do. He is a rich person. So very easily you can make it out that they had a good earning in those days, and the bakers they led a very happy and a prosperous life. So with this we come to the end of the first part. In the next video I will continue with the second part. Till then, please try to find out this such an easy one. You can easily write the question answers also. If you have any doubt in any of the questions, you can ask me on my personal WhatsApp number. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.